This is Off the Tusk. Joining me today is GardenGeek from Wasu'ran clan up in British Columbia, Canada. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I am more than happy. I've had the advantage of getting to know um, the GardenGeek uh, through various interactions, mostly on Facebook and the Facebook Builders group. So let's start with that. Talk about the
Sure.
Facebook Builders group, which you are a admin of, if I remember correctly.
That's right. I started out as a moderator right from the get-go. And so even before we had our first test group, so we're up to what, 7,500 people now. And we have people trying to coming in and joining every day, which is wonderful. And seeing really just like a really constructive attitude of most of the people on the group and just being able to really easily share pictures of their builds and be able to get advice really quickly, which is wonderful.
It was an awesome experience being with that group and seeing the group, and like you're saying, and not just the getting it advice, but sharing inspiration. I got a lot of neat ideas
Hmm.
from that builders group, so make sure you go check it out. Link down below. Um, so that was our little plug. You're welcome, Donald. But so the big question. So how long have you been a member of the Mercs?
uh, I have been a member of the Mercs for I think just about over 5 years now. Nope,
Where does the term go?
almost 6 years. Yeah, right.
And so
I yeah.
what drew you to the Mercs?
Uh, well, actually, I was just picked this up again. I just started reading this again.
Oh,
However, this is actually what started me in the Mercs. I'm a sucker for found family stories. And at the time when I was reading those books, I really found that I needed a family. And I really fell in love with how the culture was described throughout the books. And so, kind of in the wake of losing my mom to ALS and a lot of different things like that, I just kind of found myself in need of friends and a family and a big project. So I actually started. My first thing was making a helmet out of a hard hat in a 5-gallon bucket, which is down here somewhere, and and just throughout making the armor and everything, I found that I had kind of surrounded myself with an amazing group of people. And I mean, I'm still in touch with all of them today, and we're all still part of Wasu'ran clan. And then also everybody that I found across the states and over the world. So
and Gertland.
yes, but I haven't come down to visit you guys yet.
Well,
So
we need. Well, right now you can't because the borders are still closed. But soon,
yeah.
soon.
Oh,
Uh,
as soon as those borders are open, I'm going to be down there.
you have a standing invitation to visit Endor.
Thank
Um,
you.
so um, yeah, that's a common thread I hear about a lot of times is the family aspect that we tend to develop within our clans and even outside of our clans.
Hmm.
And as you talked about, and it's one of the things that appealed to me as well of the found family, one of the core tenets in Mandalorian society that's been portrayed with Karen Travis's work and even outside of her work is that family is more than blood.
Yeah.
And I love that concept because it strikes home for me. So
Yeah.
what's been your favorite part of being a member of the Mercs?
Um, my favorite part is the building aspect. So I love having armor parties. I'm the Ruus'alor Salish of our clan. So I help everybody make their costumes, which is really wonderful. And I have a background in sewing. I started sewing when I was about 3 years old. And then I just kind of kept going, kept crafting and making new things. And so when I got into making my Mandalorian was actually my first like full costume that I had ever really made. And definitely my first like cosplay type thing. I'd never had any interest in that really before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but making my costume and really getting to grow my skill set, and then helping everybody else grow theirs and learn new things, and being able to kind of guide people to help them make their costumes is my favorite part of the club. Other than that's my favorite part of the club. The most rewarding part of the club, I find, is when I get to make costumes for kids, for kids who have cancer or other issues, and being able to do that is hands down the most rewarding part.
Absolutely. That's, one of my things we say a lot in this is kids, not cons. And doing stuff to help the kids has, I've seen a lot of people say the same thing. It's, yeah, cons are fun, but when I can do something that helps a kid, and like your case, I know you very recently did a amazing Death Watch, Mandalorian Death Watch for a young lad, and also surprised his dad with a set of armor as well.
Yeah, his dad's armor was actually a purchased kit that he had ordered, and when he got it in, he just had no time or inclination or ability to actually put all those armor pieces together. So I actually just like called him up and I'm like, hey, bring me your kit. And he just brought me the entire thing, and I just put it all together for him so we could do a photo shoot with his son.
And that's there. Somebody was cutting onions when you sent me that picture. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so
uh, yeah.
now
Everybody was feeling the same way during the photo shoot. It was
I,
very emotional.
it's one of those times I'm very happy we have a full face helmet that you can't see what's going on. I couldn't do some of the stuff that we do in this club if I was a face character,
Oh yeah, me neither.
because I'd lose it. You I don't know that there's a whole lot of guys with my hairstyle in Star Wars, but it'd be just bawling Lobot. Um, so, but
Yeah.
speaking of the building, you have a little bit of an advantage over the average merc, if you will, in that in real life you happen to have a really incredible job.
I do have a really incredible job. Um, I make um, what I do is I mold and cast for TV and movies. However, that is a recent thing, and the only reason that I do that stuff now is because of this club and being able to. Um, One of the things that I showed my boss to get me hired was a picture of my Mandalorian costume.
Yeah, it's I've seen some of the work that you've shared with us, and it's I don't know if you're allowed to say any of the shows that you've worked on, but the stuff that you do, it shows in your kit the quality of your work.
Thank you.
Um,
Um, what I've Yeah, but until I joined the club, I was a graphic designer.
Still gives you an eye for
So
color.
that's right. But yeah, I did graphic design and sign making and manufacture and all that kind of stuff. And then when I started doing stuff with the club, then I started getting into more like working with plastics and rubbers and really getting into how plastic and fabric can really work together. So now naturally it kind of led into what I'm doing now, which is I just finished armored costume for a character for Batwoman, actually.
And
So we do work for um, the Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman. We did a lot of work for Green Arrow.
my son
Um,
finds out you do work on the Flash, I'm gonna not hear the end of it. Why do I not get stuff? What?
yeah, we do, and it is and it's wonderful. We've done a lot of work for the Flash, which is really just such a great show, and working with all those just such talented designers and incredible people who just bring us such interesting and cool stuff to work on.
and and again, it's a wonderful opportunity to expand your skill set, and bring that to your job as the Ruus'alor Solish for your clan. Of no, 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 no,
Hmm.
no, this way, trust me. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, being able to be like, yes, I have experience in this besides the club, right? So, but in the same in the same vein as that, I can bring that into my work as well, being like, hey, I have experience doing attaching armor pieces or whatever in this manner. How about we do it that way instead?
And
And it's great being able to have that experience with armored pieces in my
I know how
my
this is going to move in real life, not just in CGI. This is going to do this.
yeah.
So that's got to be. I've said it to you before. I'm so jealous. You have the best job. Um,
I do, and I love my work, and I love what I get to do. Except now I do sanding for my hobbies and for my work, which
that
is
that would be probably a little bit excessive, but there's some people that will tell you that's just building character. Dresden.
uh, yeah, it's building character. However, I actually have a talented team of people who we all work together, and um, now I get to share sanding among everybody. Yeah.
So where would you like to? What's next for you within the Mercs? More trooping,
Oh,
more build group.
yes. Yeah. We are actually now with everybody getting vaccinated and everything, we're starting to look at troops opening up, which is really wonderful. But more importantly, is we're going to be able to do more armor parties, which is great. I just moved homes, and we have a large crafting space and carport area, and so we're going to be able to really open up and get a lot of people in here to get armor made.
That's gonna be some awesome. I look forward to seeing more recruits for Wasu'ran getting approved.
Yeah, I've got a personal goal of getting 6 more people approved this year, but you know,
Time's ticking.
well, right now in our clan we have over 50 recruits.
That's a lot of potential.
It is, and it's really incredible. We have having like such a big group, we are able to really kind of like toss around a ton of ideas, and I'm always busy with them. They send me messages over Facebook or the forums being like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this approvable? Like, which is really incredible. I mean, it's a lot of people, but that's why I think we can do 6 this year.
No, I wish you the best of luck. Um, I know sometimes it is an achievable goal, especially when you have 50 recruits to pull from. But you also have to motivate those 50 recruits and keep them
Oh,
going.
these these people, nothing can stop them.
That's awesome to hear. I look forward to seeing some new kits with inspiration.
Yes, I'll start sending you pictures pretty soon. So yeah, as soon as we can have our first armor party, we'll be doing that. So
Yeah, we're
starting.
still down here in Washington. We're finally starting to reopen fully. I think we reopen fully end of this month.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm not participating in a whole lot of things
Yeah,
for various reasons. Um,
yeah,
but I'm looking forward to getting to a point where I can participate and be around people again, and having awesome people come down to my forest and building the family, as we say.
that's right.
Um,
Well, I'm hoping you guys can come up here too if you want to, you know, bring your son and come see the shop.
oh, he's going to see that, and I'm gonna be on the hook. But
Absolutely, we'd love
we,
to have you all out here to take a look at our shop where we work, and then also here at the house and seeing what we've got going on here.
my wife will be in love with that back wall of the room you're currently in. She is quite
Oh,
the book nerd, and
this is I'm actually in our library. The whole room is like this.
you realize how much money you just cost me because now I'm gonna have to build one. Um, but that's okay because books are awesome. Books are where we get ideas.
That's right. Yeah,
And
and we have yeah. I'm looking down over here. There's just a solid wall just of Star Wars books. So
now I'm jealous.
well.
So, is there anything else you would like to throw out there before we call this a?
um no, I don't think so. I think we've kind of covered everything. Um yeah. if if we have any recruits in this area watching, please contact me if you need any help making a costume, or
And we'll put a
if you
link
have
down
any.
below to Wasu'ran Clan's location on the forums and Facebook to
Absolutely.
help attract people for you that need it and get everybody
Yeah.
in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all. I just want to, you know, keep helping people build and keep seeing great kits and inspiration and everything. So, yeah.
Awesome. I'll look forward to it. So when are we going to see a new kit for you?
Oh, my newest kit, so I've got the two kits. My newest one was just approved last year around this time. So I'm I'm gonna hold off for a little while. A little while.
Just a little while.
But well, I don't know if we see any more Bo-Katan in the new series, like in the next season of The Mandalorian, then might have a problem.
Going to go for a canon kit?
No, that's too much work.
Or just heavily inspired by?
That's right. I used a little bit of leather in my newest costume. So I started out in my first Mandalorian kit, I did all leather that was found. So I like stripped couches and I did all of that kind of thing. My next kit, I, bought, half a hide and used, proper like not upholstery grade leather,
Hmm.
actually like belt thickness, and then I used like garment weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably next one I'll do some more, make it cooler looking.
So what's a helpful hint you want to throw out to the foundlings out there to help them find their way?
hmm. Uh, don't be afraid to talk about what you're doing,
Very good
because
advice.
when I first started making my costume, um, my first costume, uh, the only things that I think I spent less than $100 Canadian on my first costume. And that was because I bought myself a pair of leather boots and I paid for 3 cans of spray paint, but everything else was donated to me. And that was just by talking to different people and really networking in my own community and being like, hey, I'm making this thing. And what I'm going to do with it is I want to raise money for charity. And that's why I did it. And when I started talking about it to other people, it was like people just came out of the woodwork and they were like, hey, I have 2 6 mil sheets of Sintra in the back of my shop. Do you want it? Or hey, I've got a couch that I'm throwing out. Do you want all the leather off of it before I take it to the dump? And it was amazing how much of the community just really kind of came in together. And then when I started talking to other people about it, it was amazing how many people just kind of like came into it and they were like, hey, this is why you're doing it. You're really excited about this. Like, I want to make one too. And so I went from having just a couple of people around me to having everybody around me starting to make costumes. And it was really incredible.
And
But I never would have had that. And I wouldn't have been able to kind of, pull together my family like I did without being brave enough to talk about it. So talk about it. You know.
yeah, it's also, when you get to the charity, the fundraising aspect for charity, it's amazing how many people that aren't involved with what we do will still be like, oh, you're working to help kids, or you're helping to raise money for X cause,
Yep. Yeah.
and the donations flow in.
Absolutely. And that's really really why I love doing this. And we raise money. Most of the time, what we're raising money for is either BC Children's Hospital, or we raise money for Canuck Place, which is a hospice house for kids here in Vancouver. So, causes very near and dear to my heart.
Good causes too. So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all of them for today.
If you have more, we can always do a part two.
That would be wonderful.
So
Next time I make something cool.
I look forward to it. Until then, I'm Baelin, and this has been Off the Tusk.